Hello everyone, I'm Hwang from University of Massachusetts Amherst. I'll talk about word-based neural prosody modeling with ToBI. First, I'll briefly go over speech and ToBI, a prosody transcription system, and explain why I do this project. Next, I'll introduce previous works, including Pierre-Humbert and Dynoral's model. We propose word-based tone representation and apply neural network model. Speech is complex, and there are many ways to represent a single sentence. For example, this program is called prod, and it has continuous signals, including waveform and spectrogram, and discrete representation, including tone and word transcription and break indices. Automatic speech recognition and text-to-speech is a mapping between discrete character sequences and the acoustic signal. Recent technology focuses on the raw signal itself, and it performs really well. The move towards embedding in neural parsing and speech synthesis with the raw speech signal performs really well without expert annotated prosodic category labels or contextual rules. This is a problem because we lose the connection between linguistic theory and prosodic modeling. Our main contribution is to narrow down this gap. We start from ToBI and Pierre-Humbert's finite state grammar of intonation. ToBI, which is tones and break indices, is a system of annotation and transcription that captures linguistically meaningful aspects of prosody. In this picture, at the third row, H stands for high tone, L for low tone. We see pitch accent is marked as star and boundary tone % sign. This is Pierre-Humbert's model that generates intonational sequences in English. However, this model does not tell much about frequency and probability of each tone. Now we'll look at Dynoral's model that uses Boston University radio speech corpus. To resolve the previous limitation, Dynoral developed on probabilistic model trained on the Boston University radio speech corpus. And the corpus consists of 6 speakers, including 3 males and 3 females. There are more than 30,000 words with 5,000 intonational and 8,000 intermediate phrases. First, she looked at the frequency of nuclear tunes using one of the speakers. We applied the same method to all speakers and found that the order of top 5 nuclear tunes is equivalent. We also looked at the number of pitch accents inside intermediate phrases. We divided intermediate phrases into 2 groups, non-final IP and final IP. We found similar results. We also examined the category of the pitch accent in non-final IP and final IP. H star takes majority of the pitch accent that it occupies more than 70%. From our data, she improved Pierre-Humbert's finite state grammar of Prosody model with probability. However, this model does not explain anything about syntactic, semantic, and pragmatic structure. In other words, this model is a mere sequence of tones that does not all show any relationship with the sentence. One more thing, her model's probability only depends on the previous tone. Essentially, this is a bigram. We resolve this issue by using words. We selected a word as a minimum unit that can carry both a tone sequence and contextual information. We have a sequence of tunes that are associated with words. This is essentially predicting the last tone given previous three tones. We could use an n-gram model. However, it ignores semantic similarity and soon gets the dimensional issue. Let us see how researchers overcome this in word sequence prediction. Benjo and other researchers' idea is to create a distributed representation for words. Each word becomes a feature vector that contains real numbers. After concatenating the vectors and applying nonlinearity, we produce a distribution of the next words. We apply the same strategy in predicting the prosody. This is essentially the basis of the neural network and that we are going to propose in the next slides. LSTM is a long, short-term memory, which is a recurrent neural network model that improved standard feed-forward network. From the bottom, we insert input sentence and we convert it into the array of real numbers. We pass it into the LSTM and we'll get the distribution of tones. BERT is another neural network model that uses pre-trained word embedding and attention mechanism. We are not going deep into these two models, but we'll set up the LSTM as our baseline and BERT for comparison. The F1 score for detecting pitch accent is 75% and 80% respectively. BERT's F1 score on the intermediate and intonational boundary is higher than LSTM's. In more detail, LSTM's tune predictions are mostly on H star and H star L bar L %, while BERT's predictions were more widely distributed. Our goal is to narrow down the gap between linguistic theory and prosody modeling. We begin this task from the Pierre-Humbert's finite state grammar of prosody, Dinora, and group tunes that align words. Doing this makes prosody modeling a sequence labeling task that enables us to apply various kinds of neural models. It turned out that the neural models produce high accuracy, which would disclose the relationship between syntactic, semantic, and pragmatic structure with prosody. In the future, we want to check if this model has actual knowledge. And also we want to look into the actual representation of embedding itself. Thank you.